Namaste. I'm telling you the rice story today. You know, rice is a very important food for 70% people of the world. For them, the rice is a staple food. Many companies, many governments are doing a lot of research for improving varieties, for improving techniques, but at the same time, do you know, farmers of rice cultivation all over the world are tired of rice cultivation. They are giving up. In my district, almost 20% people have stopped cultivation of rice. And one of the basic reasons in all this rice growing area is there is shortage of labor for rice, especially transplanting. Rice cultivation involves puddling of land with tractors or power tillers and doing transplanting of rice seedlings in that mud. Machines are developed, but in developing countries like India, they are still not popular. So, rice cultivation is not only a less remunerative crop, but also at the same time, cultivation of rice is for the farmers to do that job, and also there is no dignity from the society for rice farmers. Today, I'm going to explain you how we do it without ploughing, without puddling, and without transplanting. We call it Prachi Tantra. This Prachi Tantra means Pratap Chiplunkar Tantra. Pratap Chiplunkar is a farmer from Kolhapur, and he initiated me to get into this in the beginning. And this Prachi Tantra saves 30 to 40% cost of production of rice, and also saves 50% treacherous labor in transplanting. It's by not doing puddling and transplanting. And this way, this technique saves farmer money, saves efforts, it also saves the problem of global warming through paddy cultivation. The diesel is not used for puddling by tractors. That much diesel, which is hundreds of liters of diesel, is saved which is contributing to the global warming by adding CO2 to the environment. Now I am going to explain you the technique. We make raised beds 137 centimeters apart. So these raised beds, center to center is 137 centimeters. These raised beds are going to be used for next 5 years for taking 3 crops in rotation. That means after we harvest rice, we take wal beans which is 130 days crop. After we finish harvesting of wal beans, we take mung beans on the same beds, which is 65 days crop. That means, and in this whole thing, this is a zero tillage practice. That means no tillage between the 2 crops. So we save 15 plus 15 days of efforts and the time. So valuable time is saved in this particular method. On the onset of first monsoon showers, when the raised beds become soft, we make holes with the hand tool made by us, and that hand tool is 100 centimeters by 72 centimeters. It's an iron tool which basically makes the markings. It's a marker. So this marker is operated by 2 men, and these on the side of 100 centimeter there are 6 pegs at 20 centimeter apart, and on 72 centimeter side there are 4 pegs at 18 centimeter apart. Now that we have made the beds, we have made the holes and marks on the beds after the first onset of monsoon, now we are ready to sow the seed. We sow 3 to 4 seeds of desired variety in those holes. For Saguna Bagh, for our area, which is Raigad district, Pusa Sugandh 5 and 4, which is 120 days crop, and the second variety, which is Samba Masuri, which is 130 days variety. These 3 varieties we have found to be very suitable for this raised bed technique and no puddling technique. Then we make sure that the seeds are coated with desirable beneficial microorganisms. We use AS and MB, which is a product by Leo Green Foods, and it is available from you can go on a website and check Leo Green Foods. This way we require 15 to 20 kg seeds per hectare of land to be sown. Then the next operation, the seeds are sown, then the seed is covered with a teaspoonful mixture of manure, good quality manure. We use vermicompost, but you can use good quality gobar manure or any good quality compost. About 500 kg good manure is required per hectare. In this 500 kg, we add 40 kg of granulated fertilizer containing NPK, 15, 15, 15, 15% N, 15% P and 15% K. This granulated fertilizer in our area, Sufala is available. So we take 500 kg of manure, 40 kg of Sufala, and this mixture, teaspoonful of mixture is put onto the seeds with holes, and we press it with hand. And all this sowing of seed requires about 40 to 45 helpers for 8 hours a day per hectare. Now once we have sown the seed, it is covered with manure, pressed with hand. Once the beds are moist, we spray the beds with selective weedicide, which is oxyfluorphen, that is 23.5%. In our area, the commercial name is Gold. We take 1 ml Gold per liter of water and we spray that. We spray this and walk backwards so that excessive growth of weeds is suppressed for almost 1 month. Now comes the time for gap filling. Gap filling is very important. First gap filling can be done with sprouted seeds from same lot of seeds 4 to 5 days immediately after the germination of the plot. Also, it can be done 15 to 20 days later when crop is at 4 to 5 leaf stage by taking extra seedlings from the nearby hills and planting those hills where the gaps are there. Now, after about 30 days of germination of the seeds, light weeding can be done. And with this light weeding, we also follow it up immediately by application of fertilizer. So, this fertilizer we apply only once with the help of urea briquettes. And these urea briquettes now are made in our area by our Konkan Krishi Vidyapith. So these urea briquettes are applied, one briquette is applied in between the 4 hills, 4 plants of the rice crop. Now the crop starts looking very good, and henceforth the crop performs very well. And please take a look at all these different stages of the crop which is growing in our plot number 1. Variety is Pusa Sugandh 5. In this, there are several advantages. The most important advantage in this method, Prachi Tantra, is it reduces the cost to the farmer by 30 to 40%. Second advantage is that it reduces treacherous work in rice growing by 50%. Farmers have to be in the mud, standing in the mud and doing the transplanting work, so gets a lot of fungal infection on his toes, and that's very irritating, very painful. Also, many farmers fall sick with fevers. So no more of that treacherous work. Third important advantage is that lot of muddy water washes out from the plot because puddling has to be done while there is standing water, and this excess standing water during rain gets washed off and it takes away 20% of our valuable fertile silt. Now this silt which washes away adds problem into our rivers. Hundreds of tons of fertile soil which washes away from a given rural area or through a river can be saved. The next advantage is that hundreds and thousands of liters of diesel can be saved from rural areas of paddy cultivation. Lots of diesel is required to do the puddling operation by tractors. So this diesel can be saved, and this, no sooner we have diesel burning through tractor, we have carbon dioxide emission, and which contributes to the global warming problem, and this problem can be saved. Then puddling initiates anaerobic digestion of organic matter in the fields. Because of this anaerobic digestion, methane gas is released, and this methane gas, is another contributor to the global warming. It is 20 times harmful than CO2. So this also prevents, because raised beds there is no puddling and the situation is almost aerobic, there is no emission of methane. Then the next one is there is no injury to the paddy seedlings. During transplanting, injury to the paddy seedling is caused, which initiates disease and pest attack onto the crop, which possibility is reduced in this method of Prachi Tantra. Then the most important is there is valuable time which is required to do the tillage operations in between the two crops. Between paddy and wall bean, almost 15 days are lost for ploughing and tillage operation. Because this is a no tillage operation, valuable time in between two crops, which is 15 days plus 15 days, is saved, and it facilitates to take three crops in the same paddy field with very little moisture, with very little water that is required. Then the next advantage is that it is possible to grow organic paddy by this method. Since there is no puddling and no tillage, aerobic situation is there, only avoiding of weedicides, some hand weeding, extra hand weeding work, or hoeing, weeding with hose, hand hose is possible. So weedicides can be avoided, and fertilizers of course can be avoided by giving doses of compacted manures, nice good manures. The next advantage is that whenever at the time of harvesting of paddy, many times there is free flowing water because of sudden rains, and this free flowing water in the field makes the paddy drying very difficult. In this technique of raised beds of Prachi Tantra, the water, excess free flowing water gets it can be taken out of the field through the trenches, through the furrows, and the paddy can be dried on the beds, on the raised beds. So this is one more advantage. And the last advantage, which is the grain quality at the time of milling, is found to be better. There is very little breakage in the grains, and this is one more very important advantage. We take these 3 crops in rotation. So this rotation of 3 crops is feasible in this technique where we take rice, we harvest rice in the month of October, November, and once we harvest, we spray field from bun to bun with 60 ml glyphosate, 60 ml glyphosate plus 100 gram raw sea salt in 15 liter of water. We spray this mixture, which kills all the growth on the beds, and then immediately after 4 days we dibble the wall bean at 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter. Then once the wall bean seed are dibbled, we spray the plot with 1 ml Gold, which is again a selective weedicide. So no weed growth is found in the wall plot, and wall grows very well, giving a very good crop of wall and adding good root growth in under the ground. After the wall bean is harvested in the month at the end of February, immediately we harvest the wall by leaving the roots in the ground, which is very important. Then we sow mung bean.